Hey, how you doing?
Good,
Do you have a number?
No, I'm actually here to sign up for a membership.
Oh, okay. Where are you staying?
Crossroads.
Oh, right. Do you have we just need a letter from the, from your hotel.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
Alright, great. Great. If you can grab a cup of coffee and take a seat, and I'll, fill out your paperwork.
Hold up there.
Yeah. Alright, this will serve as your membership card.
Alright.
So how much do you know anything about the Help Center?
Not a lot.
Alright. So the way it works is you can come in here for 45 minutes per day. We have coffee, juice, usually we'll have crackers or something.
Right.
And so with a membership, once a month you can come in and get clothing. In the back room we have the shirts, pants, jackets, hats, things of that nature. So once a month you can come and get that, and then twice a month you can get hygiene supplies, like soap, deodorant, stuff like that. And so that's how it works. I'll give you your letter back if you want.
Alright.
And so make yourself at home. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
My name's Kevin.
Oh, okay. My name's Mike Quill.
You're kidding me. Your name's Quill? My name's Quill. What do you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's weird. But where are you from originally?
I grew up in Providence. Went to high school here. I joined the Army. Right after that I did 2 tours, one in Iraq. Then I came back, and I did find a job at Walgreens briefly, but I was actually quickly laid off because that's when the economy went like that. And it's just been rough because, particularly to try to be a soldier and raise a family. At the same time, I have a wife and a son. He's at 5, and it's financially very stressful. And so we've been at crossroads for a while now.
It's actually interesting you say that, because in sociology we've talked about this thing called role conflict.
What's that?
Which pretty much in your case, it's the fact that you have like a certain role as a soldier and certain like duties that are expected of you, but as a father, you have a separate set of like roles and duties. And so role conflict is when there's conflict between the two duties of your 2 roles.
Right. Well, okay. How I'm supposed to do this both at once?
Right. Where it's because you're, it's virtually impossible, and that's where some conflict comes.
Okay.
It's actually, have you ever heard of the book Breaking Night?
I've done it.
It's about this homeless girl lived in New York City, and her upbringing and how she eventually, her parents were, she had a bad upbringing. Her parents were a lot into drugs, and she had a bad childhood, but she eventually worked her way up and made it to get it to Harvard in college.
Oh, no way.
And so in her case, her roles, her mother had a role conflict because she had certain roles as a mother, but she was an avid drug user, and so those
I would say that's a role conflict.
Right. So the two roles of those conflicted, and then with Liz herself, who was the main character, is a memoir that she wrote. And so hers as a homeless kid and as a student obviously conflicted because there were certain things that as homeless she had to sort of fend for herself and she was on her own. But as a student there were a separate set of responsibilities that she had to maintain. So that's how this conflict is what role conflict is.
And how do you, like, rectify a situation like this? Is that not really what you're studying?
Well, right. It's more.
You know what it is. You just don't know how to fit it.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I suppose fixing the problem is harder than identifying the problem.
Right. Exactly. But at least knowing that it exists and that you can't possibly be expected to maintain both roles completely.
Yeah. It's now that you put it that way, that makes me feel a little bit better because sometimes I'm supposed to be the father. I feel pretty down on myself a lot of times because I'm supposed to be providing. Right. And I'm trying to, but I'm never there. And then I'm not even providing anymore.
Right.
So,
Right. As long as you understand that
situation.
it's right, that it's not. You can't possibly be expected to do both of them.
Yeah. So, how about you? Were you a student around here?
Yeah, actually, I go to Johnson Wales to downtown, and so they offer a lot of different community service programs.
Okay.
And so this was one of them. It was actually offered through my sociology class.
Oh, all right.
So we learned about a bunch of topics, and there were some of these sort of outreach programs that fit some of the stuff we talked about in class. So that's how I got on this. It's not a bad deal.
I didn't really go to college, nothing like that. What is sociology exactly?
Sociology is basically the interaction of people with each other, and then people within society, and society as a whole.
Okay.
Psychology focuses on like individuals and thought processes and things of that, whereas sociology is more interactions with other people and how societies function and things like that.
Okay.
And so, like, one of the concepts we were just learning about was rights and obligations, the difference between rights and obligations, which is...
What are those?
Like, a right is something that you expect from other people. Like, if you have a right to it, then it's what you expect other people to treat you and do for you. Whereas
Do I have a right to this coffee?
You certainly do have a right to this coffee because we provide it.
Thank you, by the way.
But an obligation, on the other hand, is what other people expect from you because you have an obligation or a need to do certain things for other people. And so that's sort of how...
Like how I have an obligation to my kids.
Right.
And to the army.
Right.
For instance. Okay.
Right, for example.
Alright, gotcha.
So that, things like that, concepts like that we go over sort of put together how society functions, which is actually very interesting.
Okay.
And like we'll talk about how like different aspects of society, like for example, homeless people are a subculture of the regular culture, which is subculture is basically a group that's separate from like what's called the dominant culture, or the general population. It's just a sort of a little subgroup.
Right.
That you like think of like college professors or college students would be a subculture, and so things like that.
Okay.
So what do you want to do with your like future? Do you have any idea?
I would like to be a small bit like a business owner. I'd like to run my own business sometime.
So I'm studying actually.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What's your major?
Entrepreneurship.
Oh, okay.
Small business.
Yeah. Actually, more specifically, a candle company, just different candles. This is I don't want to become the next Yankee candle, but I enjoy making them, and yeah, so that's kind of what I like to do.
Great. It's actually interesting because that's another sociology thing we go over is...
we have a lot of these sociology things.
There's a lot of them.
Alright, what's this one?
Achieve status is it's a status that you like work for or earn, as opposed to an ascribed status, which is something that you are like assigned. So in your case, becoming a small business owner is something that you're going to work for and achieve,
right.
And so therefore it's going to be your achieved status.
Right.
And another example of that is back in the book I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
She worked her way up as a student. Growing up, she was not a very good student, and she had a lot of other things to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But then she worked hard and finished high school in 2 years, and then ended up graduating and becoming a college student.
Wow.
So that's
kind of like Rudy.
Exactly. I'm sure people are
like
chanting her name as well.
Literally it is.
And so,
well, okay, continue. I'm sorry.
So, no, just so people, when people do that and they work hard and they sort of do things on their own and reach a certain point, that's when an achieved status is.
What was the other one you said?
Ascribed status.
Okay. What would be an example in my case of an ascribed status? Like, well, homelessness.
Right. Something. Yeah. Right. It's not something that you.
I didn't work to be.
You did not work. Right. Right.
Okay.
So it's.
Gotcha.
That's the difference. So, do you want to go get clothes or anything while you're here today? I know your time might be running up soon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, right. I get one.
You can get one a month, so you don't have to today. But if
no, I'd actually kind of like to today, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll take you a seat back there.
Thank you.